Hey guys, I am back on YouTube. How has it been this long? I don't know. Basically, I do know I had some technical difficulties with my camera, which I'll chat about later. But basically, I took the chance to upgrade all my equipment and blah, 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 blah. There was basically things like weddings and stuff like that. So I haven't been on YouTube for a little while now, but I'm back in the swing of things. I'm going to chat through all of that and everything that's been going on. I'm going to do like a chatty get ready with me. You can see the kind of look I go for every day, like obviously keeping it beauty focused, but I'm just going to chat through. There's a little life update in there, a couple of things I want to chat about, talk to you guys about, fill you in on that you probably didn't know, talk about some sensitive stuff that's been a bit difficult for me, and yeah, talk you through a little everyday look while I'm at it. I hope you like it. Okay, so I'm going to start with my daily makeup, which is basically just the stuff that I pile on my face every day, and it is exactly that. I will chat away while I'm doing it, and I hope that you enjoy it. I'm gonna go in with my primer first today, which is a totally new product actually, which is from Image Skincare. It's called their Eye Primer. It's basically like a hyaluronic acid plumping, firming, bit of everything type primer, and I was looking for an alternative to the Benefit one. I've used that in so many of my tutorials because it's like, it literally stops my skin looking shiny and oily, and as someone with loads of oily skin everywhere, I really need something to like help with that. So I was looking for an alternative. This one mattifies, it's great for oily skin. Oh, losing focus. And we're back. So yeah, this one basically is my Benefit alternative that is better for slightly older people because it's got that hyaluronic plumpingness in it, which basically is making me feel a whole lot better about any wrinkles I have potentially on the way. So what has been going on with me? Quite a lot. Like, you're gonna have to excuse my disgusting face while we're doing this. As you can see, I've got no fake tan on right now. I'm as pasty as they come, so I'm going to go straight in with my foundation and now cover it up for you guys. This is the Power Fabric Armani, my go-to foundation. Literally swear by this stuff. It's so, so good. But it's also one of my lightest foundations that I have to wear when I have zero tan. So basically, you guys know I got married on April the 19th, so that is like 6 weeks past now. I can't believe it's been like nearly 2 months. Like, where has that time gone? It was the best day of my life. I loved every minute of it. I would do it all again if I could, but I'm gonna be like brutally honest, guys. I hated planning a wedding. Hated it, like badly hated it. I know so many people talk about bridezillas and stuff like that. I definitely wasn't like that because I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted with the decorations, the dress. I had a few problems. I don't think any wedding is ever smooth sailing, but I hated planning my wedding. It was not because I was planning my wedding. I was like, oh, I don't want to get married. Although people did start asking me at the end, like in the last month when I was still not getting excited, they were like, is there a problem? Do you not want to be getting married? Because I just didn't enjoy the process so much. It just wasn't me, and I'm so busy with work, with the children, and it just felt like something else that I had to do. And that sounds like an awful thing to say about your wedding, but I knew what I wanted. I didn't realise it was going to be as like time consuming as it was, which is stupid of me. But the day went amazingly. All of the effort, all of the hard work, all of the tears. There was a lot of things that happened that, you know, like everybody always says, you learn who your friends are when you're getting married, you learn who your family are. And I think everybody thinks, that won't be me. That won't be me. I know who my friends are. My friends are pretty cool. My family are pretty cool. Yeah, I definitely learned some hard lessons along the way. Should have put my phone on silent also. But yeah, it was an interesting time. The day, however, was perfect and everything that we could have possibly hoped for. And now I can say I have a husband, which is pretty cool. So yes, I'm now a married woman and it is super exciting. I have still not got used to saying this is my husband. Keep referring to him as my boyfriend, which gets me in trouble with other people who are like, aren't you married? Haven't legally changed my name yet because I have booked my honeymoon, as you guys would have seen if you follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. We booked, I'm so terrible at this. I say I because I'm the one that does it. So we have booked our honeymoon, even though I booked it. We are going to Mexico in July. It's not long now. Oh, guys, I can't tell you how much I need a holiday. The stress of planning the wedding. Quite a lot of health stuff, which I'll go into later. Various other bits and pieces. It's been a crazy year. I mean, a very intensive few months. So we're definitely in need of the honeymoon. We're going to Mexico. We're going right down like the Riviera side. So it's going to be lovely. We're going to an adults only, all-inclusive place on the beach. It looks absolutely amazing. Yes, I did yesterday Google to see how far the nearest Sephora was, and we will be making a pit stop, even though my husband was literally like, Chloe, we're not going shopping on this honeymoon, you know, we're going to relax, rest, and just, you know, chill out. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I just need to find a really great bar or someone that's got a really like great menu that I could be like, oh yeah, we need to go there. Like, I heard it's really good. That just so happens to be really near Sephora. Going back to my makeup, I'm now going to do my contour. This today, let me find it for you. I'm using the Huda Beauty, the new Tantour, which actually is, guys, amazing. I totally love it. So I'm also going to use my Tarte Shape Tape as my highlighter. I'm going to go in with the darker shade first. Now, I still haven't found like the perfect application method for this yet. It's like a creamy product like that. So I tend to just take it on my finger and then sculpt like this. It's not exactly the most pristine way of contouring, and then I take my brush and just buff it in. This is so soft. It's like a creamy texture, but it's also basically like a moisturising type texture, I want to say. It's so light and gentle basically, and you see it's just such a delicate little contour, and I really like it. I've got the fairest shade, which is called Fair, which is great on these days. Also, like, I hate the fact that my makeup always like goes into my hairline, but I have such fine hair I can't pin it back. But hey ho, the joys. So I do that like as my first layer, and then I'm just gonna quickly do up here and buff in. So yeah, that's the wedding, the honeymoon. So excited for that. Obviously I will do a few Instagram stories and stuff while I'm there, so you can see where we're staying. It's super, super lovely. It looks really nice. Yeah, it's basically just been a really busy few months. On top of that, obviously the kids are the kids. Like, I still have to be mummy in between everything else, which is crazy. Also, I was just looking, and I knew I was going to mention this in the video, right? Look at this. Space NK had a massive offer on at the weekend where it's like spend £60 and get £15 off. I was like, hell yeah, I need in on that. Also, by the way, I keep checking my focus on my monitor because my face is so pale I can't tell if I'm out of focus. I hope I'm not, but yeah, so Space NK had this amazing offer on spend £60, get £15 off. Those travel bags that everyone's been talking about, like the travel beauty bags, I was like, yeah, I need one of them. Going on my honeymoon, I need like a cool travel bag. Like, I've been using like the Primark specials for a while, so I thought, okay, I can treat myself, and there's an offer on to take advantage of. So I ordered it. Guys, look at the size of it. You could fit about 5 tampons in that, and that's it. Like, it is tiny, and this cost me 24, 25 pounds. It's so small. Like, just to put that into context, that is my phone. Like, 2 of my phone in there. It's so small, and it cost me 25 quid. Like, part of me thinks I should send it back because it is literally so small, but then the other part of me is a bit like, no, you bought it, you should keep it, and it's kind of cute. So I'm a bit like, oh. Also, this is not the most precision because I'm trying to do this without a mirror, which is probably the most stupid idea any beauty blogger or like person has ever had. So I might just have to hold my mirror and just dab in. But yeah, so I haven't actually started my honeymoon shopping yet. I'm actually going to do that next week. I'm going to a place near here, near where I live, which is super cool. I'll take you guys along so you can see what I pick up for my honeymoon. I've got a few things that I need to get. I've already ordered my bikinis though, so Okay, so taking my good old-fashioned hula now, which I've already started because the camera just stupidly lost focus again, but I'm just going to finish. Basically, I mentioned earlier about some health stuff, and yeah, basically a lot of people have been asking me on Instagram and saying how skinny I look. I think everyone at first assumed that it was like wedding stress, things like that. I have been losing quite a lot of weight since the beginning of this year, like unable to keep it on kind of levels, like unhealthy levels. When I was getting fitted for my wedding dress, I had the lovely moment of going to have my final fitting and my dress was almost too big. So I was losing a lot of weight and it wasn't great. I also wasn't feeling very well. And then right after my wedding, I found a lump in my breast, and it was only about a week after my wedding. So it was rubbish. I think that is terrifying for any woman anyway. Now, about 10 years ago, I had a lump in my breast and went and had it checked. And because I was so young, I was never that worried. I mean, I was worried, but it got ruled out very quickly. They're like, you're 20, it's fine, don't worry. When I found this one, it was in the other breast, so I'd never felt anything there at all. And I was a bit like, holy cow, I am in my 30s. So the possibility of things like breast cancer are realities now. You know, it's a lot more rare when you're in your early 20s. You can't really class it as rare in someone of my age anymore. So the sheer panic in both me and my husband that night when I found the lump, because I was literally just laying on the sofa watching Game of Thrones, it was awful. And I just felt pure terror inside, but I'm quite, I really internalize that stuff. I never used to, but I do now. And I kind of, see, I'm getting really into like telling you my little story now. I'm just gonna take my blush. I basically phoned the doctor first thing the next day saying I needed to see a doctor emergency kind of appointment, even though they couldn't fit me in. Shock, horror. And they fitted me in, went to see the doctor. She then examined me and found another lump. So turns out I had two in the same breast, which I then did a little bit of research on. Something she made a comment about when I was actually in there with her, made me look online, and apparently it's a very troubling sign in women my age to have two lumps in one breast. Like that can be a sign of something quite bad. So I panicked, like I got really upset when I got home. It then got worse because I got a phone call from the hospital to say that I was on the fast track emergency list to be seen by the breast clinic within 2 weeks. But they were so overstretched in my area that basically I was unlikely to be seen for at least a month. Tie this into the fact that we needed to book our honeymoon. We knew when we wanted to go, there was only a specific window that we could actually go because of childcare and things. It was affecting like insurance and stuff like that. So we were like, what do we do? I don't know when I'm going to get this appointment, on top of having to worry about it in the back of your mind. Anyway, so we made the decision to pay for a private consultation. Now, I'm very fortunate that I was able to do that. And that literally only happened like, I'll be honest, it cost £500 to see a consultant. To me, that money was worth every penny because it was the peace of mind. You know, having to wait 5-6 weeks for an appointment to find out effectively whether or not you have breast cancer is horrific for any woman. And we made the decision to take the money out of our honeymoon fund, which we had there, and it felt like this was quite an important thing to do, which we stand by. Now, on top of going into the hospital, which was private, and paying for it and everything, I was still obviously waiting for my NHS appointment just in case. Just going to set my face. And I had the appointment 2 days after I made it in the private hospital. It was really, really, really good. They were so thorough and so helpful, and they very quickly ruled out breast cancer, which was absolutely amazing. So they did a scan, well, they did multiple scans. I had consultations and stuff, literally saw the nicest doctor. He was so understanding, and actually said that quite a few people do what I do and pay privately if they need to rule it out, especially in a situation where you have a trip or something and it affects insurance. So I'm just going to highlight now. My Becca. Oh my gosh, I love this highlighter. basically then I was still on the NHS waiting list, but I do have like a sub story of the lump from about 20 years ago, which basically is 10 years ago. It's effectively grown and is so much bigger it needs removing now. So he advised me to stay on the NHS waiting list, have the appointment when it came through and explain the situation that I'd been, blah, 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 which I did. So yesterday I had my appointment at the hospital, well over 5 weeks after I went and was put on the 2-week fast track. So that I found quite infuriating, because I fortunately paid to find out that I was okay, or, you know, or could have potentially not been. But there are so many people who can't do that, and it made me really angry, because I thought, you know, people are going to be on that waiting list who do have cancer, and they're going to have to wait to start their treatment and wait to put life-saving precautions in place. And it's really angered me, and I need to figure out a way to be constructive about how I deal with that going forward, because I feel like I want to do something. So I went to the hospital appointment yesterday, basically had the appointment again. They reiterated what the private hospital had said, got the all clear. That was amazing. However, they did feel that they wanted to do a biopsy while I was there, but I was deemed too high risk because I basically have very little breast tissue. I'm part of the flat-chested ladies club, and that's just me. But basically the lumps in my chest are too close to my chest wall, and there was too much of a risk of perforating my chest wall. So basically I have to go back in a few months to have the lumps measured, just as like a final, yes, they're okay. But they basically said that they wouldn't be letting me go at all if they were slightly concerned. So I've got like 99% the all clear, got to go back in a few months just to double check, but that's pretty much where we're at. It's been a terrifying experience, if I'm honest. I have 2 children now, I'm a wife, I have so much to live for, and it was just terrifying. So it's taken me a little while to kind of process. I haven't mentioned it anywhere online. You know, it just goes to show, like, all of my Instagram pictures have been happy and smiley, and I've been really busy and had loads of fun things on, but actually I've had this in the background, and I still now need to have further tests with the doctors to find out why I'm losing weight, because that hasn't stopped. So yeah, it's been a bit rough recently. It does affect your mental health as well, which sucks. So I'm just focusing on my honeymoon. I'm focusing on creating some content, which I am loving. I've really thrown myself back into content creating, and yeah, that's kind of like a health update for me. Today on the eyes, I'm going to be using my Colourpop stuff from the Zoella Colourpop range, which I did a whole tutorial on, guys, like a whole video tutorial, and every single thing was out of focus. The sound was off, and basically that was when I realised that my camera had gone kaput, totally dead. I couldn't use it anymore, and it was really difficult for me because I knew then I had to spend some money to get a new one, and I had the wedding. So that was kind of why I took about 6-7 weeks off filming, because I just needed to get some new equipment and get things sorted with the new stuff, which is what we're filming on today. So you're going to start with my crease and transition. Speaking of new equipment, guys, I basically have a whole new camera. So I had been using my Olympus EPL7. I've now upgraded to the EPL9, just mainly for photography, because I have 4 or 5 different lenses for my Olympus. So I kind of knew that I needed to stay within the Olympus cameras. I was really shopping around, but I love Olympus, and it's kind of got me this far with my blogging, and I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna continue to stay loyal. So I upgraded to the 9, which so far so good. Very different in the sense of there's so much more you can do with it. Like the control element that you have like on the actual camera is crazy. Like my husband is a videographer, and he was looking at the camera and like, he isn't the biggest Olympus fan, but he was looking at it, he's like, this camera's actually really good, Chloe. Like, you need to have a look at it. And I was like, I know it's really good. I've been telling you I wanted to get it for quite a while. Lesson, wife is always right. So yeah, basically I've upgraded. I've got a new mic. Well, it's a recorder type mic. I have been working on lighting and stuff. So yeah, overall, we are good to go. I've got so many videos lined up, which is super exciting. Next up, we are going to be decorating the house at home. I have the most un-Instagram house in the entire world. Basically, I have no white walls. Everything is coloured because when I moved in here about 6 years ago, it was like really uber fashionable to have like colours everywhere. Not like bright colours necessarily, but just actual colours. So we just want to create a bit more space with the space that we've got, which is virtually none because we have 2 children who scatter their shizzle everywhere. But basically we're going to decorate, we're going to declutter, and I'm hoping that then that will help to give me a bit more of a dedicated YouTube space so that I don't have to like set up every time, because to put it into context for you guys, every single video takes me at least an hour to set up and then an hour to set down from. You know, it's the cameras, the mics, the stands, the monitors, the lighting, everything takes so long and I hate it. Like, I'm impatient. So that's super high up on my priority list, because like we have a 3-bed house, right? And basically there are 3 bedrooms in use. I used to have like a whole office and it was beautiful and it was totally Instagram and it was white and full of white furniture and I love it and I miss it. But then I had another baby and he needed a bedroom, so he couldn't sleep outside. Sadly, that's not allowed. So my office disappeared. Now I have my office in our dining room. We have a separate like work area, but it's not the biggest. It's not a dedicated space. And I also really think that that is contributing to why I can't switch off in the evenings. I don't know if you guys are like this. If anybody else works from home and stuff, like if you can see your computer, you can see all your piles of work stuff. Like I have posts, I have packages, all of my stuff, all of my client work, it's always out where I can see it. And because my home is my workspace is my home, it's really contributing to me not being able to switch off in the evenings. So if you guys have like any ideas or know of any blogs where they focus on like storage space or like decor decoration, like how to basically structure a small home when you need more space, that would be so fab. Please do let me know. I'd really love that. So now I'm just going to go in with some of the creamy version that came with the set, because I got the whole PR set. Like I said, that stupid video I had to like discard, and I meant to redo the whole tutorial, but I was so angry with the fact that it didn't work. I kind of just was like stubborn and just thought I'm not even going to bother. Okay, so I had to do my brows off camera because it just didn't work doing them on camera, but my eyes have now dried, so I'm just going to buff in the corners now. I'm absolutely loving like a metallic-y kind of cream shadow at the moment. There's so many around. I think they're going to be really popular this summer. I've got quite a few, but the Colourpop ones are such great value, and I really did love that Zoella collab. Like, I know so many people hated it and thought it was pants, but I've loved it and I've used it so much more than I thought I would. But that's always the way, isn't it? Like, Marmite is definitely one of those Marmite ranges for sure. So speaking of like Marmite changes, I am thinking of cutting my hair now. Now I know that most people cut their hair when they get married or they have a breakup or something significant changes. I think that that is like quite a normal thing to do. But I'd been loving how long I'd got my hair, but the condition, as you guys have read on my blog, is really, really bad. It feels not the greatest. So I was thinking about getting it like quite short, like quite blunt up to here again and starting again. But I'm also terrified because I just don't know how it's going to go. I want to get one of those like, you know, like the waves, like the beach waves with the straight ends. So I'm going to get like a curling tong or like a rolling tong. I really need some recommendations on those because I think that that will pretty much be my go-to style if I do go like short and blunt. But I think it's quite common after you have like a breakup to get your hair cut. I say, yeah, like loads of people do it after they get married, but I'm saying that because I literally saw a tweet where somebody said that the other day, so I'm assuming that that is the case. Okay, it's just actually started chucking it down, which isn't unusual if you live in the UK right now. We are just having the worst summer, the worst June ever. It's rained like constantly for 2 weeks now nearly, and I'm so miserable. I hate it. But yeah, if you can hear that on the camera, I do apologise. There's not a lot I can do about it, so I'm just going to go straight in with my mascara. I don't know what else I have to report. Like, guys, I have the most boring life. I mean, I had an amazing month beforehand, getting married. I've booked my honeymoon. I've got some fab content coming for you. I've done some great collabs recently, which was super fun. But yeah, like the health stuff aside was pretty rubbish. The kids are doing great, which is so fun. We are looking at a potential trip later in the year, which will be super exciting for them if we do go. My husband just got a new job. Yeah. By the way, I'm doing this like blocking the mirror from you, but It's just not working for me today. I'm so glad I've kind of just come in with like a chatty video today, because I'd have been so frustrated if I was doing this video and it was like a collab, or like it was something like I actually needed to do like a projecty type piece with, because I'll be like, this just isn't working, because it isn't. But that's okay, because we're just chatting away and you guys are having to put up with my actual chatting crap. And yeah, I do that face, like I'm one of those people. To finish today's look, I'm going to go back to the Zoella collab, which was amazing. I've got a liner and a lip gloss. This was at me. Loved it. I'm going to top it with some Jouer, which is my favourite lip topper. But yeah, this little collab, I know so many people hated it, but I loved it and I've worn it so much. So that's the lips lined. Now just gonna put the lipstick on. So there we go, guys. That was probably the world's most boring get ready with me video. I'm gonna be honest, I've never watched a get ready with me video from anybody else, so I assume I did it right, just talking about random crap while I get ready, and hope that you guys don't think I am the most boring person on the planet. I probably very well could be, and that's okay. I hope you guys liked my updates. I was very honest about my health stuff, so please don't be too brutal with me. But yeah, this is my everyday makeup look. This is literally what I go to when I have no time or can't be bothered to do much more. This is my everyday look. This is literally how you will see me at the school gates, doing my food shopping, whatever it is. This will be how you see me. So I will leave a link below to all of the products I used. I hope you like them. If you pick any up, do let me know, because I love hearing that kind of stuff. I'd also very much love it, now that I am back in the swing of things with YouTube, if you would click that subscribe button to my channel, so that when I get a video, you can also click the bell on that and be here to watch it when it comes out. My intention is to go back to at least one video a week. I have so many planned, so that's definitely going to be the case for at least the next 3 or 4 months. So there'll be lots of content coming. Otherwise, I will say, please give me any feedback. Let me know that this, honestly, if it was the world's worst get ready with me chatty video thing, let me know. If not, please also let me know, because I'd really like to feel better about it. But until the next video, which I promise will be a little bit more thought out, I will say goodbye.